Okay, so in this tutorial, it's a very quick, very simple tutorial on how to create some 3D text in Cinema 4D. So let's jump in and get started. Obviously I've already gone ahead and opened Cinema 4D, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to this object up here, and we're going to click and hold, and we're going to select text, and now we get in the attributes window here, we get where we can actually change the text name. So for this first one, let's type in challenge, and then again we're going to click another text object and we'll type in training. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we'll click the challenge, and what we're going to do, sorry, hang on, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to move the challenge up above the training, and let's just scale it down a little bit so it fits with the training. Okay, that's good. So now we have the challenge and we have the training. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change the font, because that font is a bit boring. So let's start with the top word there, and you can see in our font list here, if we click this, it comes up with a whole different array of fonts that you already have installed. So for this one, let's see if I can find something that looks fairly decent. Let's go down to, let's try this one. Okay, that's a bit better, and same for this one. Let's just scroll through here, find the same font, and there it is. Okay, so now we've changed our font. So the next thing we're going to do now is extrude our words. So we will select our word, and before we extrude it, I'm just going to rename these. So let's just change that to challenge, and we'll just name this training, and you just change the name here by double clicking on it, that's all. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead up to our HyperNURBS object, and we're going to click extrude NURBS, and this is important. What you want to do is you want to get the word and you drag it into the extrude NURBS. So you want to wait until this little arrow here turns down, not to the left, down. And once we do that, we'll drop it in, and you can see straight away we've now got a 3D word. So once we've done that, let's go ahead and do exactly the same thing for the other other word. Okay, so now we've got our 3D words. Now what I want to do is just change the depth of these words a little bit. So I'm going to go to the first one and click on the extrude NURBS, and what we're going to do here is, let's just go to the basic coordinate. We're going to go to the object here, just on the extrude NURBS, and we're going to get this one here. You can see it's at 20 centimeters. I'm just going to ramp that up. Let's just change this to an even 100. Okay, and we'll do exactly the same thing with the other one. Let's click on the extrude NURBS, go to object, change this to 100. Okay, so now we have our 3D words, but they're still a little bit boring. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make it look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to go to the first word, and I've selected it here. I'm now going to go to the caps option, and at the start I'm going to select fillet cap. Okay, and now I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the next one, caps, fillet cap. So what this does is it puts a little bevel on the edge of our word. So if we want to smooth this bevel off, what we can actually do is we can change the steps, and you can see now we've got a smooth curve, but for this instance I'm actually going to keep it for just the one. So now that we've done that, I'm just going to rename this extrude as well, so I know exactly what I'm dealing with here. Okay, so now that I've done this, I'm actually going to duplicate both of these layers. So I'm going to press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V and duplicate them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the fillet cap off on both of these objects. Okay, so now that I've done this, we've actually got two duplicates of our words sitting one on top of the other. So selecting the first two layers by holding Shift, I'm then going to select our Move tool, and I'm going to move them forward like this. Now you can see at the moment, because I've taken the cap off, they're hollow. So I actually need to go into one of these and I just need to change it to cap, like so. Okay. So now these words look a lot better. We've got an inner and outer word. So let's just go ahead and add some very basic materials to these words. So to do that, I'm going to click Create, New Material, and let's just change this to a green color. So, okay, and sorry, hang on, color, green. Okay, and we'll put a little bit of a reflection on there. We'll just turn it down a bit, we don't want it too much. Okay, that's good, and now I'm going to create another material, and I'm going to make this white, and again we'll put a reflection on here, and we'll just turn it down. Okay, so now we've got two materials. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, or I'm going to put the material on the two words at the back. So to begin, let's get the green. I'm going to drop it on the back of the challenge, and the back of the training, and then the white on the front, like so. So now you can see we have this 3D word. Looks a lot better. So now let's put it into a scene. Now we could do that by putting a plane onto the scene and then modifying the plane to have a 90-degree angle at the back. However, there is a simple way of doing that very, very quickly. I'm going to go up to File, Load Object Presets, go to Prime, Light Setups, and Product Stage. And there's 3 product stages here, and I'm going to select Product Stage 1. So now you can see that we've got this product stage. So I'm going to select all of my objects and move it forward. You can see we've got a little word here that says object here. So I'm going to move this forward, scale it down. Now I'm going to go into the product stage. Just for my own reference, I'm going to remove the text. Okay, that's pretty good. So now we have our words, and they're sitting pretty much on the floor. And if we just do a render of this very quickly, okay, you can see it renders out very, very nicely. We've automatically got some shadows in there. Now what we can also do is we can change the color of the floor. So I'm just going to grab the white once again, and I'm going to drag it onto the floor. Now you can see we changed the color, and if we render that again, we have a really nice looking scene. Nice looking shadows there. Now the next thing that you could do here is, if you wanted to use it for an introduction to maybe one of your YouTube videos or something like that, is we could go ahead, we could add a camera, and we could start animating the camera within the scene. But we're not going to go ahead and do that today. We're just focusing on how to add the 3D text. And that's essentially it. That's very, very easy tutorial.